I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network, and this is a breaking news alert. Donald Trump's lawyer, Tim Parlatore, has officially resigned from further representation of Donald Trump. Parlatore was representing Donald Trump in connection with Special Counsel Jack Smith's ongoing criminal investigation into Donald Trump's theft of thousands of government records, including top secret, classified, and sensitive compartmented information, which Donald Trump concealed at Mar-A-Lago and continued to lie to the Department of Justice about it, requiring the Department of Justice to issue a search warrant that was ultimately executed on August 8th. Of 2022, where they found these thousands of records. Now, Parlatore also testified before the grand jury back in December of 2022 regarding additional searches that he was performing at Mar-A-Lago, Trump Tower, Bedminster, and other storage facilities that Trump controlled in Florida for other potential classified records, top secret records, and other government records. And most recently, Parlatore wrote a letter to the chair of the House Intelligence Committee, Mike Turner, where he made a number of representations about how Donald Trump handled these records, why these records were in the custody and control of Donald Trump in the first place. And basically, in this letter, Parlatore blamed sloppy record keeping at the White House. He blamed the GSA, the General Services Administration, and the government. He blamed everybody other than Donald Trump. And almost certainly this was consistent with the testimony that Parlatore may have given under oath before the grand jury back in December of 2022 when he was subpoenaed by Special Counsel Jack Smith at that time. But you will recall as well, if we're wondering the timing, why is it that Parlatore perhaps resigned right now? Remember Donald Trump's statements that he made during the so-called town hall that CNN hosted with Caitlin Collins, where Donald Trump basically stated, "I took what I took. I may have shown people classified documents. I don't really know." And he claimed that he had a right to take it. He said that the boxes were all lined up and everybody saw him. In other words, Donald Trump completely contradicted the letter that Tim Parlatore had written to the House Intelligence Committee and further incriminated himself and perhaps put Tim Parlatore in serious jeopardy as well, based on the representations that Parlatore had made to the grand jury when he testified back in December. Also, there's always been a lot of infighting amongst Donald Trump's lawyers. Tim Parlatore always detested and despised and was involved actually in prior litigation against Donald Trump's other lawyer, Joe Tacopina. Here, I'll show you this video from a few weeks back where Parlatore criticized Tacopina. He complimented Donald Trump's other lawyer, Susan Necklace, and said Tacopina is a conflicted lawyer and likely shouldn't be able to represent Donald Trump in connection with the Manhattan District Attorney's criminal case. Here, play this clip.
This is such a significant case. And of course, everyone has noted just how historic this indictment is. You heard from Joe Tacopina earlier today saying there is no chance there's a plea deal here. Do you think that Joe Tacopina is the right person to take this case to trial for your client, Trump?
Well, I know that Susan Necklace is a phenomenal attorney who's working on all the legal aspects of this. As to who's going to try the case, I know that Joe has certain potential conflict issues given his prior contacts with Stormy Daniels. So, who is the right attorney to take it to trial is something that the client will have to decide. Ultimately, the decision of who to stand next to you before a jury is a decision that only the client can make.
It sounds like you don't think that Joe Tacopina can. You think he has a conflict of interest here and will ultimately be the person representing Trump in this case?
I'm not going to comment on Joe Tacopina.
Oh, okay.
So turning to this letter that Tim Parlatore had sent to the House Intelligence Committee, I want to show you the lies that are in this letter when you actually compare what's in this letter to what Donald Trump said during the so-called town hall here.
This is sponsored by Miracle Made Sheets. Now, whether you want to get more fit or be a better parent or get more done at work, there's one thing that will help, and that's better sleep. With Miracle Made sheets, you can tap into the power of self-cooling temperature regulation, which has been shown to improve deep sleep quality by over 20%. Now, using silver-infused fabrics originally inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than bed sheets used from some of the 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Clean sheets means less bacteria to clog your pores and fewer breakouts and other skin problems. Go to trymiracle.com/Meidas to try Miracle Made sheets today. And with Mother's Day and Father's Day right around the corner, this is the perfect way to give someone you love the gift of better and more luxurious sleep. Save over 40% off and be sure to use our promo code Meidas at checkout to save even more and get 3 free towels. Miracle is so confident in their product that it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Meidas and use the code Meidas to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Meidas to treat yourself.
Pull up the letter here. You see Parlatore Law Group, April 26, 2023, addressed to Chairman Mike Turner. Dear Chairman Turner, we represent Donald Trump and are writing to provide information regarding the probe by the DOJ. Turning to page 2, it says, to be clear, had NARA, the National Archives, offered President Trump the same assistance it had provided to all previous presidents, he would have accepted the offer, and there would have been no reason to transfer the documents to Mar-A-Lago, he says right there. Going on, he says, NARA's variance from its standard procedures ignited a dispute with President Trump when it, quote, discovered that boxes were being transferred to Florida. In January 2022, in an attempt to cooperate with NARA, President Trump asked his staff to retrieve 15 boxes that had been moved to Mar-a-Lago so he could see what was in them. Goes on to say on page 3, it talks about how the improper involvement of the DOJ in what should have been an administrative investigation of the mishandling or spillage of documents with classified markings set the matter on the wrong course. So you see here, they're basically just saying it was just some spillage of classified records. And then finally, it says, all indications are that the presence of marked documents, classified documents, at Mar-a-Lago was the result of haphazard record keeping and packing by White House staff and the GSA. President Trump has directed us to immediately notify the DOJ of the discovery of marked documents at Mar-a-Lago, and we have faithfully done so. But now let's take a look at what Donald Trump said at this so-called town hall. Let's play this clip where Donald Trump says, I took what I took. Play the clip.
Why did you take those documents with you when you left the White House?
I had every right to under the Presidential Records Act. You have the Presidential Records Act. I was there and I took what I took and it gets declassified. Biden, on the other hand, he has 1,850 boxes. He had boxes sent to Chinatown, where they don't speak even English in that Chinatown we're talking about.
Can I got to stop you right there.
Nobody talks about him, they talk about us. Just so you understand, I had every right to do it. I didn't make a secret of it. You know, the boxes were stationed outside of the White House. People were taking pictures of the GSA and the various people.
I got to stop you right there, though, because
moving.
the Presidential Records Act, which is not well known to a lot of people, I read it. It does not say that you can take documents with you. It says actually that they are the property of the federal government.
It says you talk, you negotiate, you make a deal. It's not criminal, by the way. The Presidential Records Act is not criminal.
And here Donald Trump says, not that I can think of, when asked if he showed classified documents to other people. Play this clip.
When it comes to your documents, did you ever show those classified documents to anyone?
Not really. I would have the right to. By the way, they were declassified
after.
Not that I can think of. Let me just tell you, I have the absolute right to do whatever I want with them. I have the
Here's what Parlatore said in connection with his resignation as well. He goes, "It's been an incredible honor to serve and work through interesting legal issues. My departure was a personal choice and does not reflect upon the case, as I believe strongly the Justice Department team is engaging in misconduct to pursue an investigation of conduct that is not criminal," he writes in that statement. But clearly, when you piece all of this together, what seems to have occurred. Oh, by the way, there is additional reporting that Donald Trump is just getting frustrated paying his legal bills. So it's also possible that that's been involved in the decision to resign as well. But when you put all of this together, I mean, you've got Donald Trump further incriminating himself during the so-called town hall. You got Parlatore making these representations that he made to the House intelligence community, which Donald Trump contradicts, and what Donald Trump said during the so-called town hall. You got the fact that Parlatore had to testify before the grand jury and may have provided false statements to the grand jury in that testimony, and yet another Trump lawyer is now resigning. What does MAGA stand for? Make attorneys, get attorneys. We always say that here. And just another example, Tim Parlatore officially resigned as special counsel. Jack Smith is now in the final stretch of the criminal investigation into Donald Trump's theft of government records. I expect to see indictments there in the next several months. We will keep you posted. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers. Thanks to you. Check out patreon.com/MeidasTouch, and wherever you get podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast and hit subscribe here as well on this YouTube. Thank you.
Hey, Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.